Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss the third topic of the current affairs. So this is basically global issues. So here we are starting with the topic contemporary security challenges. You can watch here cyber threats, terrorism, nuclear proliferation, climate security. Today's security landscape is dominated by threats that transcend traditional borders. Cyber attacks represent one of the fastest growing security challenges, with projections indicating they will cost the global economy $10.5 trillion annually by the end of 2025. These attacks target critical infrastructure, financial systems, and even democratic processes. Nuclear proliferation concerns persistent with North Korea's weapons program and ongoing tensions surrounding Iran's nuclear ambitions. Meanwhile, climate change has emerged as a security multiplier, exacerbating resource scarcity and triggering migration crises that destabilize vulnerable regions and strain international response systems. Role of diplomacy and sanction. There are some diplomatic negotiations, preventive diplomacy and mediation, then targeted sanctions, economic and political pressure, then peace building, which means post conflict reconstruction. The UN Security Council currently imposes more than 15 major sanction regimes targeting countries and non state actors that threaten international peace. These measures range from asset freezes and travel bans to comprehensive trade embargoes designed to alter behavior without resorting to military force. Diplomatic negotiations have repeatedly demonstrated their value in averting potential conflicts, as exemplified by the Iran nuclear deal (JCPOA). Despite its subsequent challenges, since 1948, the international community has conducted over 65 post-conflict peace-building missions, focusing on rebuilding institutions, reconciling divided societies, and establishing sustainable peace in formerly war-torn regions. International political economy concepts. World Trade Organization, 164 member states collectively overseeing 98% of global trade through multilateral agreements and dispute resolution mechanisms. G20 Forum coordinates economic policy among world's largest economies, representing 85% of global GDP and two-thirds of the world's population. Regional trade blocs. Growing importance of economic integration through European Union, USMCA, ASEAN, and other regional arrangements, reducing barriers to trade. International political economy examines the profound interconnections between global markets and state power. This interdependence has accelerated in recent decades, creating complex networks of trade, finance, and production that transcend national boundaries while simultaneously creating new vulnerabilities. The World Trade Organization serves as the primary global forum for negotiating trade rules and resolving disputes, though its effectiveness has been challenged by rising protectionism. While the G20 has emerged as a crucial platform for economic coordination among major powers, especially during financial crises, regional trade blocs continue to grow in influence, creating both opportunities for integration and potential for economic fragmentation. Global economic challenges. First one is trade tensions. US-China trade war with over $360 billion in tariffs imposed since 2018, disrupting global supply chains and investment patterns. Pandemic recovery. Global economy still recovering from 3.4% GDP contraction in 2020, with uneven growth patterns across developed and developing nations. Debt crisis. 60% of low income countries facing severe distress by 2025, limiting capacity for social spending and infrastructure development. Inequality worsening global wealth distribution with the richest 1% owning 45% of global wealth, undermining social cohesion and political stability. The global economy faces several interconnected challenges that threaten stability and growth. The ongoing trade tensions between the United States and China have resulted in hundreds of billions in tariffs, creating ripple effects throughout global supply chains and forcing companies to reconsider their international operations. The COVID-19 pandemic delivered the most severe economic shock since the Great Depression, with recovery proceeding unevenly across regions. Meanwhile, mounting sovereign debt in low income countries has reached crisis levels, with 60% facing debt distress by 2025. These challenges occur against a backdrop of widening inequality as wealth becomes increasingly concentrated among a small percentage of the global population. Conclusion: the future of global issues. Institutional reform, modernizing global governance by 21st century challenges. Integrated approaches, addressing security, economic nexus in policy responses. Multilateral solutions, strengthening international cooperation frameworks. And fourth one is informed citizenship, building global awareness and civic engagement. As we look as we look toward the future of global governance, multilateralism remains essential for addressing transnational challenges that no single country can solve alone. The traditional boundaries between security and economic issues continue to blur, with cyber threats, supply chain vulnerabilities, and resource competition demonstrating how these domains increasingly overlap and interact. Many international institutions created in the post World War II era required significant reform to effectively address 21st century threats and represent the current distribution of global power. Finally, informed citizenship plays a critical role in fostering the international cooperation needed to tackle complex global problems. Understanding these interconnected challenges is the first step towards developing meaningful solutions that promote both security and prosperity in both interdependent world. Thank you.